Why did I make it out? So many guys didn't. I feel like there's this debt I have to pay.
If you're hearing our voices, it means it's time for It's This Meets That, the podcast where we watch the worst movies from trailer to end credits, scene by scene, so you don't have to, but maybe you should. I'm Russ.
I'm Jared.
Yeah, we have a big debt to pay, it feels like.
Sure do. This is the podcast is our never-ending debt.
To you, the listeners.
That's right.
All right. So we're here. We're back again. Part one of the beginning of our breakdown of The Lucky One.
That's right.
Based on a Nicholas Sparks novel.
Unfortunately, yeah. I think we said it in the trailer trash, but I do not remember ever seeing The Notebook, even though...
That's kind of part of the funny part of that.
Yeah.
Listener, if you did not listen to last episode, which was the trailer trash, we watched the trailer for this movie and kind of broke it down.
Mm-hmm.
You want to just give us what this is all about?
Yeah. So The Lucky One is about a Marine travels to Louisiana after serving 3 tours in Iraq and searches for the unknown woman he believes was his good luck charm during the war.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah. Not the worst logline we've had. Very descriptive. Is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. I think we were... So 2 things from our expectations from the trailer trash. 1, the guy in the trailer is the cop.
Right. You're right. Yep.
So
yeah. Good call.
2, there were no Terminators or time travel. That's not why they have a dog.
Don't remind me.
Yeah. So close.
Although some similarities with Terminator. Almost used that in my pitch.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have like a side pitch, a bonus pitch today.
Yeah, bony pitch. Yeah.
That's not what we call that.
Well, I've heard it both ways.
So I don't know. Quick info.
Yeah, let's do it. I started to write these for you again, and then I kind of stopped myself because I didn't want to,
Yeah, you don't want
to get out of line.
Yeah, you don't want. Yeah, don't ruin things, right? I got to micromanage you around here.
Always do. Always ruining. ABR, baby.
Yep. Always running shit. All right. So this is directed by Scott Hicks. He's big in excess guy.
I was gonna say, whose claim to fame, as far as I know, is 3 music videos for INXS and then like
a documentary about
In
Excess. No, but he also directed 2 movies that I've heard of. These I haven't seen them, but he did do Snow Falling on Cedar or whatever, which I remember that was a big drama movie.
Fuck is that?
Yeah, don't worry about it. And Hearts in Atlantis.
That's a Stephen King joint, right?
Yeah. So those are probably the well known.
Okay, so he's a book boy,
but big NXS guy. Big.
Yeah. NXS and books apparently is this guy's thing. What the other? I was going to save it for a fast fact.
He likes entertainment.
Yeah, loves movies and books and TV. Who would have thought?
It's the first date ever. You like books? You like books and music too?
So I was going to save it for a fast fact, but it makes perfect sense right now. So
do it.
Speaking of Scott Hicks not like doing anything super notable, I was reading an interview that Zac Efron did about this movie, and he was like, I'm at that phase in my acting career, paraphrasing here, where directors really matter to me, and so like my first thought was like, oh, this is going to be a Scott Hicks movie, like talking about how he picked this role, like how he decided he was going to do this role. The fuck, like, big NXX guy, and I was like, who does those videos?
Yeah, that's a weird combo. But Scott Hicks has been around for a long time now, so I mean, he's been directing since like the 70s, Fair. And then I mean, it looks like his last thing he did was like 2015, and he's got something that was maybe 2016, but yeah.
Okay.
So, but I mean, yeah, he's been around, so
yeah, he's a guy someone knows.
So, screenwriters, Will Fetters. Who's got 6 things to his credit.
Okay.
6 credits.
What do we got?
Remember Me.
What's that?
That is the Robert Pattinson 9/11 movie.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think the whole thing about it is that it's at the very end is when, big spoilers here, is you find out that he like was on the plane. Or someone was on the plane or was in the tower or something like that. I guess that's a big spoiler. It's funny because I skimmed through this earlier, and then as soon as I looked at the poster, I was like, wait a second. I remember what this movie is.
Weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some TV movie, Georgetown. Then The Lucky One, The Best of Me.
What's The Best of Me?
Just another romantic drama movie, whatever.
Yeah.
A Star is Born, the 2018 A Star is Born.
I should know what that is. I don't remember though.
Yeah, dude, it's a movie they make every fucking 15 years and wins all the Oscars.
Oh, about Hollywood's probably doing something.
No, it's the singers. It's oh my god, Lady Gaga was in the most recent one, 2018.
Gaga?
Yeah, Lady Gaga. Yeah, and
I had no idea.
Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga were in the most recent one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they've remade this movie like 3 times, and it's just like every time. I don't know. It's so dumb. Every time they do it, it's just like
I haven't seen any of them.
So, but pretty much all of his movies, all the movie posters is basically the same thing. Can you see this right now? The movie posters are just the same. It's just
yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Guy, girl, hand, face, kissing. Same poster.
You hate to see it.
Yeah, big time.
Like that's a big red flag for me of I don't want to watch this movie.
Yeah. And then I guess Nicholas Sparks, obviously it's story by book. I don't know if he was
I was gonna say he's like he's credited on IMDb anyway as being involved in the screenwriting, but I don't think he was. I don't know.
Yeah,
They used at least one line from the book in the movie, so therefore he gets credit.
All right, so then actors. So we got Zac Efron playing Logan.
That's right.
Our friend of the pod here, Taylor Schilling, who was in The Titan movie we did.
Among other things.
You guys should go listen to that one. She plays Beth Green. We have Blythe Danner. She's kind of classic. She's in a bunch of stuff. She plays Ellie, or grandma, I guess, the grandmother.
It's such a good like Southern old lady name that I know is not her character name, but
yeah.
God, Blythe, of course.
Blythe. Riley Thomas Stewart plays Beth's son. Jesus, Ben. J.R. Ferguson plays Keith, the ex-husband / cop.
Yeah.
Douche.
Yeah.
He plays a good asshole in this.
He does. None of the acting was particularly bad in this movie, I don't think.
No, it's just a movie that just exists for no reason at all.
The writing was bad.
Yeah, the writing's pretty bad.
The story is bad. That's the...
And then we got Adam, what did we decide on this? Adam LeFevre. LeFevre? You're going LeFevre?
Definitely going LeFevre, yeah.
Okay. LeFevre?
Yeah.
It's not Adam LeFevre.
See, that's why we're not doing that. Adam LeFevre.
He plays Judge Clayton, a.k.a. Keith's dad. Basically the guy who runs the town.
Yeah, a.k.a. Judge Daddy, as I called him in my notes.
Judge Daddy. And then we got Douglas M. Griffin, who plays the bartender.
Nice. Good dude.
Production, box office numbers. This movie, the budget estimated approximate $25 million, which that seems...
How? On what?
Yeah, it should have been like 10 million. You were in 2 houses.
Should have been way less than 10. Zac Efron is not at the peak of his powers here, I don't think. I mean, this is obviously High School Musicals what made him famous, right? But like this is either like right around the time that like Neighbors is coming out. Like he's got a couple other things. He doesn't deserve $5 million for this movie. He definitely didn't make that, right?
I hope not. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But it takes a lot. It takes a village to make a movie. So
a $10 million village.
So this movie, the budget was $25 million. This is sitting at about 20% on Rotten Tomatoes right now.
Yeah.
Hence why it's in our wheelhouse. You ready for how much this grossed?
Tell me.
$99,357,138.
What? Like why?
25 cents.
That's like 31,500 fanatics roughly. How?
That's
stupid.
You know, when you got a book out there that's as big as a Nicholas Sparks book, you're gonna get all those people going to see the movie. So
I guess so. I mean, that's like, I know we did this math one time, but like assuming that's a $15 movie ticket for people going to see it in the theater, that's like
probably less than that because like think back in 2012, 10 years ago.
Okay. Let's say it's a $10 movie ticket, right? That's almost 10 million people saw this movie probably.
Yeah, that's so many people.
I hate this.
Yeah. That's like a small country saw this movie.
Yeah.
How many people live in New York?
Yeah, somewhere around there. Like roughly 10 million.
Basically everyone in New York saw this movie. Yeah, I don't but yeah, so there you go. You got budgets there. So
ate it.
Yeah, there's a little further breakdown if you're interested, but I guess in the US Canada gross was about 60 million,
which on its own is already almost 20,000 fanatics. Like
that's
unbelievable.
Yeah, so that's it. That's the quick info budget stuff. You want to Hollywood pitch me, motherfucker?
You said with confidence. Yeah, sure.
I'm feeling good about mine. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm feeling like I'm doing the lazy one this time around, possibly.
Whoa.
No, not that you usually do.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, let's go easy with the implications there. I mean, I'm sitting right across from you 3 towns away. Son of a...
fight me.
Yeah, fight me. Come at me. Are you coming at me, bro?
Yeah. Also, not a fast fact. Speaking of fight me, nobody forget about that one time that Zac Efron fought a homeless guy in LA.
Oh, that's right.
Remember that?
I totally forgot about that.
Got in a knife fight with a homeless guy.
Remember me, huh? Wow.
Yeah. No charges, because in the U.S., I know we've got a good amount of international listeners. In the U.S., we have something called mutual combat, which is like an actual legal defense that people use, where you're like,
really?
Nope, yep, both parties consented to be in this fight.
Oh,
I guess it's fine.
Yeah, it's like a boxing match, right?
Mutual combat, stupid. Anyway. So here's what I've got. First one, pretty self-explanatory. It's Jarhead, right?
Yep.
Both take place in Iraq at some point. Jarhead, Gulf War, not the Iraq War, or whatever you call it in the rest of the world. The War of American Aggression.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, probably.
But so anyway, the first Iraq War is doing Desert Storm stuff. So a lot of similar incidents there, where like our main character Jake Gyllenhaal is like not really sure of what he's doing. Has like an existential crisis about the war. He's like stoked about like wanting to go out there and kill people. He's like trying to be the best Marine that he can.
Yeah.
But he spoilers for Jarhead. Never ends up even firing his rifle. Yeah. And then kind of figures out like, well,
war is pointless.
Modern war is meaningless, right? Exactly. Yeah. And just like this movie, where our jarhead here, Zac Efron, figures out, maybe what was it all for? Like he's like having an existential crisis about his role in Iraq, and lost a bunch of buddies, which they also lose a couple of buddies.
So what happens in war?
Yeah, and at the end of Jarhead's kind of like the prequel to this movie. Because at the end of Jarhead is when they go and like, remember they show everyone like in their post-war lives.
Yeah.
Johnny's a bartender now, and like whoever's like trying to go pick up the broken pieces of their shattered psyche. Anyway, so it's Jarhead.
Didn't they make like 3 of those, by the way? I feel like there's like 3 Jarhead movies, and like the third one, you're just kind of like, oh, this is like Universal Soldier like 7. It's like straight to streaming, and you're like, or straight to DVD bin.
I think you're right. I never saw any of the other ones. So can't speak to him.
Yeah.
Oh, also in Jarhead, remember there was like a whole thing about women's pictures.
Always is in war. That's how it works, right?
Right, exactly.
Since the beginning of war.
Which is the whole premise of this movie.
Yes.
So it's Jarhead meets Return of the Jedi.
This
one isn't obvious to you?
Okay, maybe. All right.
Okay.
Go for it.
Right. Mostly for the end here.
Okay.
Which I'm pissing myself because I didn't want to spoil the ending of this movie until we got to it, because it's so funny. So I'll leave out most of the details, but basically the father, the police guy, Keith, ends up saving his son's life and sacrificing himself in the process, converting himself at the very end of his life from the villain to the hero.
Yeah. Classic. It's a classic. Hero's journey.
That's right. Just like Return of the Jedi. And there's something about, they really do more. They like reveal the brother sister thing is in Return of the Jedi. This movie has a brother and sister famously.
That's okay. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what else. I had a couple other things, I think, but
I mean, there's like the Emperor. I mean, would that be the judge there? Kind of. I mean, he's not a total bad guy, but
Judge Daddy.
Judge Daddy's he kind of orchestrating, now becoming mayor of the town. He runs everything,
That's true. That's a good point.
He told the sheriff like, hey, look the other way when his son pulled out a gun drunkenly in public during the day,
Yeah. No, that's a great point.
Emperor kind of things going on there,
Church. I wish there were Force ghosts.
Yeah. The church is like the second Death Star, just playing.
Well, they don't destroy it. Or do they? Listen on, listeners. Yeah. That's my pitch.
All right, I like it. I wasn't sure where you were gonna go. I mean, okay, into it.
It's the villain turns into the hero at the end, kind of redemption, right?
Yeah.
What do you got? Pitch me.
All right, I'm going with. I mean, the movie is actually just called First Blood, but just in case everyone doesn't know, I'm gonna go.
Sure.
It's Rambo: First Blood meets Kindergarten Cop.
Go on.
So the First Blood, I'm taking that one because you got the veteran, right, soldier coming back from war, not really knowing what he's doing in his life, right? Kind of a little lost. He's got a little PTSD, different war, but hey, the effects of war are all mentally, of course, right? Have a heavy weight, right? So he, just like Zac Efron in this one, he comes back. He's not sure where he belongs. He tries staying with his, sister, but that's not working out. And then he decides to start walking across the country in search of something, right?
Right, like Forrest Gump.
And furthermore, just like in First Blood, this movie, we get a small town cop being a dick to a veteran.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
It's like the whole thing for First Blood, right? And then in this movie, Keith there. Ugh. Judge Daddy's son is just a asshole cop with a badge and a gun and thinks he's, what he says.
By the way,
what.
me and my roommates in college, shout out to Mac, who doesn't listen to the podcast, but
what up, Mac?
Decided universally the worst male name in like English speaking countries is Keith, right?
We may have just lost one listener, but that's fine.
Yeah, fuck Keith. Fuck you, Keith, if you're out there. If you want to be on the podcast, send us an email.
Keith is the worst male name. I'm on board with that one. Yeah, it's
Think of the sounds like it's got
Eith.
Like Eith is just a
yeah, back to back vowels. It's kind of weird,
right?
Yeah. K in there. Yeah.
Anyway, Keith stinks.
Yeah, I actually only know do you know any Keiths?
I did know a Keith. He stunk.
Yeah, I only know one Keith. He's a nice kid, but it's through he's a secondary, tertiary connection. Like if I ever saw him, oh hey Keith.
Fair enough.
So all right, I'm doing something here.
Sorry.
All right, so First Blood, I'm done there. I think I covered everything there, right?
Yeah, nailed it. Great pitch.
And also Zac Efron up against the town, kind of in a way. In a weird way, but not really. And he kind of
just like Frankenstein.
Yeah, just like Frankenstein. So meets Kindergarten Cop. Now, Kindergarten Cop in this movie are so identical.
Go on.
So Kindergarten Cop. I mean, it's kind of like a flip though. So in this movie, you have the cop who's kind of like the antagonist to Logan, right? To Zac Efron's character. Kindergarten Cop. You've got Arnold Schwarzenegger, who's a cop undercover, meets a lady, right?
Yeah.
Has a kid.
Not a tumor.
Not a tumor. Meets a lady searching for, the killer, right? What's his face there? And that's kind of totally what happened. Like there's no one killing as a killer in this movie, but
maybe Zac Efron.
Maybe, right? So it's kind of like a weird flip there. But then you have in this movie, Zac Efron falls in love with, lady who has the son, Kindergarten Cop. Schwarzenegger falls in love with the mom, who's the mom of the kid who he's teaching, who's also the son of the bad guy. In this movie, Zac Efron is like a father figure to the kid, whose father is the bad guy cop. You get a whole thing. You got a big climactic moment at the end there. There's no ferrets in this movie, but kind of a,
It's very animal centric though.
It is actually. Yeah. I mean, there's a dog training camp farm, whatever that they're at. So
a dog camp farm? Is that
what is it? I thought
kennel. It's called a kennel.
Oh, a kennel. Right. Yeah. The green kennel. Right.
Yeah. It's a puppy mill.
The puppy mill. Yeah. And I think that's it. I think I'm going with that.
I like it. Good pitches.
Yeah. Oh, and the other thing too, at Kindergarten Cop at the end, the kid runs. That's right. The kid runs to the tower at the end, and again, that's what kind of draws everyone. That was the big connection too. At the end of Kindergarten Cop, the little kid takes the ferret and runs away, right, and runs up to the top of a tower or something like that, and everyone's freaking out, right?
That's right.
And in this movie, same thing happens. Kid just runs away during a storm to go to his treehouse.
Yeah.
And that's when calamity happens. So
also known as a tree tower.
Right. So
okay. Nice. Good pitch. Should we do fast facts?
I think we should.
All right, let's do it. I can run through these.
You pulled them.
Yeah. Not a lot of trivia on this one, for better or worse. First off here, not really trivia because I imagine they do this with most movies that the military touches probably, but apparently theaters on military bases were given an advanced showing of the film, which oh
my God,
why would you punish the troops like that?
Yeah.
What a nightmare.
Yeah. Here's something you don't get to look forward to going home to.
Yeah. Here's something to trigger your PTSD and not entertain you.
Right.
Remind you of the horrors that await you when you go back home.
You won't belong. No one's going to like you. Cops can be dicks to you.
Yeah, it's so fucked. Like, why would you do that?
You won't be able to get a job.
Right. What, like, the timeline of this is like right when Iraq ends too.
Yeah.
Like this is like, they're like, all right, boys, we're gonna go home. Like, oh, before we go, watch this movie.
Like,
horrible.
Can we just watch Transformers again, please?
Yes, thank you. The best 9/11 movie, like we talked about.
Exactly.
So this was actually good trivia, I thought. The house that Beth lives in is the same house that the character Tuck lives in The Best of Me, 2 years after this, which is also a Nicholas Sparks book turned into a movie.
Which is also, as we said from the beginning there,
our guy,
right? Will Fetters.
Yep.
The Best of
Terrible.
Me.
Good to know that not only do they reuse the same writers, they also reuse the set.
It's a machine.
Yeah. Reduce, reuse, recycle.
That's right. The 3 R's.
As we record this, it was Earth Day yesterday. Happy Earth Day, everyone.
Yeah. Don't forget your 3 R's.
That's right.
It's the only one we got.
Thought this was kind of fun. The role, Logan, the character of Logan, was apparently written for Ryan Gosling.
I mean, isn't every role written for Ryan Gosling in mind?
I think so.
Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
But weirdly enough, they also considered Frankie Muniz.
What?
Which I think would have taken a turn. Can you imagine?
No, because there's no way.
Imagine Malcolm in the Middle is the main character of this movie.
You deserve to be kissed every day, every hour. Just picturing him saying that.
Yeah, the best.
Like turning to the camera, looking at us and breaking the fourth wall.
I would love that. Bring Bryan Cranston in somehow. Yeah. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
So another one we've got here, we kind of commented on this in Trailer Trash a little bit, I think, but apparently the director, Scott Hicks, went way out of his way to make sure that there was no explicit nudity in the movie to get that PG-13 rating. And I was like,
was that a planned thing? Like, was that?
Yeah. I'm thinking it's probably
in the book. Because aren't those books? They're just like steamy, like they're romance novels. They're kind of trashy. Like they're a little bit less than trashy, but they're just like romance novels, right? So I'm sure maybe in the books they're pretty. He gets into it, maybe.
Exactly. So when Beth is questioning Logan about how he gets to the town, right? Like we've already talked about this. He walks from Colorado all the way to Louisiana, supposedly.
That's a walk. Just
a little math fact here.
Yeah.
That's like 20 days of walking.
Yeah. That's a good solid.
That's a hike.
Yeah. It's less of a walk and more of a hike.
Yeah. Like, with
the dog too. With the dog.
Yeah. With the dog. That's cruelty.
Yeah.
It's animal cruelty. I don't know how many miles a day. Like it definitely would have taken him way more than 20 days. Cause that's I think that's 20 days of straight walking.
Yeah. And is that like 24 hours a day, 20 days?
I think so. Yeah.
I mean,
wow.
We're in Colorado. Do we know where in Colorado they live?
No, but let's assume it's the east side. Let's say it's somewhere like Boulder,
Colorado, right?
Yep.
And do we know where in Louisiana they were?
Hamden.
Oh, right.
If that's a real town.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it was definitely in the northern part of Louisiana, I think, right?
Maybe it's supposed to be like Monroe or Shreveport, maybe type of thing. Minden.
Yeah.
Let's pick somewhere around there. How about Minden, right?
Yeah, Minden sounds nice.
That sounds beautiful.
Although that looks like a metropolis.
Yeah. So it's 1,000 miles. According to Google Maps, it would take 328 hours.
Yeah, which is 13 and a half days. So
okay.
I don't know where this 20-day came from. Why would they make that the fact?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we don't know exactly where Hamden is. Maybe it's
true. Maybe it's further in there.
Yeah. If it's further in Louisiana, it could easily be another half a day, but another 5 days or 6.5 days, right? Because I said 13. Some doesn't add up here. IMDb editors.
I mean, it's not. It kind of checks out. I mean, we're doing pretty ballpark here, so Minden's just kind of into Louisiana, so it could be further in, which would make it about 20 days.
And it's days of straight walking. Let's say you walk half the day every day.
Wait, hold on. How are they
40 days?
Wait, hold on. How are they figuring out it's 20 days to get there if Hamden doesn't fucking exist?
Right. Also that.
What?
I'm assuming they probably picked like middle of Colorado to middle of Louisiana is like 20 days. So I bet.
All right. So yeah, that's a fun fact.
And that's all I had. Really crappy trivia about this. The only other thing that I thought was particularly funny.
Yeah.
Different interview that I was reading about Zac Efron and talking about this movie.
Yeah.
Like there's a few of those lines. They're like real cringy, really hard to say. Is what Taylor Schilling said. Taylor Schilling's in this interview too.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, like that "you deserve to be kissed" line that we're definitely gonna make fun of later.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, Yeah, exactly that. Super cringy. And then Zac Efron defends it.
Zac,
by saying, I think back to the moments I've been in and the things I've said, way crazier than that. So it's all relative. Because there's a little bit of shivering when I realized I was going to do that on camera, but I think a bit of pride too.
What?
It's so weird.
Easy, Zac. Easy. Pump the brakes there, guy.
Yeah. Also talked about how the dog was the best actor on the set.
I mean, the dog was pretty great.
Shout out to Rowdy, real name in real life.
Oh, Rowdy the dog? Oh.
Rowdy the dog.
Hopefully he's still with us. It's 10 years ago, so.
Oh, he's definitely dead.
Yeah.
But
R.I.P. Rowdy. Rowdy.
The other thing that I thought was kind of funny, just like more broadly about that interview, is they were like, yeah, like he went to Camp Pendleton to like do research for this movie, like actual like Marine.
Yeah, get in there, you know,
training camp. He's like, yeah, you know, I was just trying to keep it really real. So what would the Marines do?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Not go pick up random shiny objects in a pile of rubble.
Yeah, I don't think there's that much authentic about this movie, but
no, I don't think so. But
anyway,
all right. Well, that was so informative.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right, so let's do this, right? Let's get through this.
Yeah, got a whole movie ahead of us.
I didn't mean to make that sound so bad, but
no. I think we all know what you meant.
Yeah. Yeah. So we get Warner Brothers logo, right?
Yep. They each get their own screen this time. Warner Brothers and in Village Roadshow, right? Yep. Not Warner Brothers direct to video. Like
no. Yeah, not DTV there. So, and then we get a shot of kind of like an establishing shot of Louisiana there and marsh kind of area in a boat, which is the end of the movie. A little foreshadowed. Spoilers, it's the end of the movie. I see what you did there, Nicholas and Steve, or whatever his name is.
Gutenberg?
Mr. In Excess.
Right.
And we get a voiceover from Zac Efron, right? Talking about how doing things can change your life.
Just even little things.
Even the littlest things, right? Like listening to this podcast can change your life. So for
the better, yeah.
Most days.
And then he talks about how, sometimes finding the light means you just pass through the deepest dark, which, all right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of deepest dark, cut to Iraq.
Speaking of.
I watched this movie with my shades up, so the sun glare prevented me from seeing much of the details.
Yeah, it wasn't much. They flipped over to night vision goggles and were basically raiding a house and looking for bad guys.
It's a night raid.
Night raid.
Which should be a song.
So they're kind of going through this village in his house or whatever, right? And there's Zac Efron's platoon there.
I believe it's called Liberating Iraq, Russ.
Right.
Oh God, we're not a war in Iraq apology podcast. I don't think, right?
Operation Freedom.
Well, I think listeners know our thoughts on.
Yeah, I think they got an idea. Hopefully.
But anyway,
so they're there. They're like, they're
women and children
screaming because that's what happens in war. And they're, cruising through, checking corners and sixes and doors and stuff like that. And then they come across another platoon, like another group, like another set of Marines, right?
Yep.
And they kind of cross paths, and there was like a weird moment.
Hey,
what's up, man? Guess our intel is all mixed up here. And then so they have this kind of moment and then they're still kind of securing the area, and then they get ambushed.
Yeah, shots fired.
Yeah, the bad guys,
right.
Well,
the enemy in this particular scenario.
Yes.
The people whose houses they were in. Presumably, one of the leader of the other platoon there, right? I think we get his name, right? He's a Sergeant Aces, right? I think that's what they call Sergeant
him.
Aces, right?
Yeah, I think you hear that, like that's his nickname, right?
Yeah.
And one of his guys gets shot, and he's down, I think, taking care of him, right? And Zac Efron and his crew are like pulling back, trying to take cover or whatever. And then another guy pops out of nowhere and just shoots Aces there, dead. Boop. And Zac Efron's like, no. And he turns, and I think Zac Efron kills the guy, whatever. So there's a gunfire, blah, blah, blah. So we lose this guy here and a couple other.
Fake fast fact, but Ace is called Ace because he loves Ace of Base. So always sings it when they go into battle.
Ace of Base. She wants a baby. Another baby.
Oh, that she wants. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they're all the same song.
Yeah, great. So that's why Aces is called Aces.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that seems pretty clear. So then we cut to the next day, and now it's daytime Iraq here, and they're Efron and the crew are hanging outside and kind of taking, whatever, hanging out. And he spots he spots a little shiny object in the rubble over there, and he's like, "Oh, shiny object!"
Right out of the trailer. Yeah.
Right out of the trailer. He walks over, picks it up, and spits on it, wipes it clean. And it's a photo of Beth Green there. Mm-hmm. And then in that moment, straight from the trailer as well, we get a missile just drops in and kablooey and knocks him back and takes out all the guys that were like standing right there. So
classic, perfectly timed mortar. Destiny mortar.
The old Destiny mortar.
That'll get you.
And then we get, more from the trailer too, where one of his buddies is like, telling him, he's like, "Hey, you found that? We found the photo." Or no, I'm sorry, in the tent there, the medical tent. He's like, "Hey, we found this photo on you." He's like, "I saw you pick this up, whatever." And I think does Zac say she's not mine or it's not mine or something? I think.
Yeah.
So
she's not mine. And guy tells him that 3 other guys died.
Yeah.
Like ruthless.
Yeah. That's what happens in war.
Yeah, and then we cut to a club, like an on-base club, I guess.
Yeah, I was confused by this too. There's some live band playing, and it's just like a party.
We're wasted generation. Like sick.
Kind of a little on point there, huh?
It's like the most early 2010s thing I've ever heard.
Mm-hmm. And Zac Efron's not having really a lot of fun there, understandably so. And he's walking around asking guys at the party who's the owner of the photo, whatever. If someone dropped this, blah blah blah. No one's. It's not anyone's, right?
Yep.
I think we can all see where this is going already, right?
Yep.
So then we're cut to helicopter comes up, Humvee shows up, right? And then they're in Humvee, and this is when his buddies tell him, like, "Hey man, this stuff like this just doesn't happen. You have to go find this girl. She's your guardian angel." Again, stuff from the trailer.
Yeah.
And then kablooey again, and right.
Oof, yeah,
and the Dasani water bottle just gets destroyed in super slow motion. And everything's in slow motion, and he's got the worst luck. He basically where he goes gets bombed, but he survives. Yep. So that's a little
really stinks.
And then we're in an airport.
Yep.
He's home.
He's immediately having flashbacks and PTSD showing from there's a gun in a video game, which I was like, wait, what airports have an arcade?
Yeah, I mean, well, there was a video game that his nephews were playing when he got home, but I think when he was at the airport, someone just clapped or did something loud or something like in the back.
No, there's a little arcade behind him. When they show him sitting on the bench, there's like a little arcade.
Oh, really? I thought it was like a family getting. I don't know.
No, it's like they're in like a mall and not an airport at all, and there's like a little arcade behind him. It's like, I mean. So weird. Like I've been in the Denver airport. It doesn't have those.
No, it definitely doesn't have those.
Yeah, it was weird.
All right. So then we're in small town USA here in Colorado somewhere, right?
Yep.
He's coming home. Dog comes in, greets him. Zeus, his dog. Zach's having a little awkward family dinner here with his sister, husband, 2 nephews. Yeah, he's a little on edge, right? Which is completely reasonable and understandable.
Some would say a fish out of water.
Some would say fish out of water. Yeah, they're playing a video game also in the background. And there's like gunshots going off, and he like loses his shit, drops a pan, blah blah blah.
Yep.
And then there's a moment where he almost killed one of his nephews. He's like in bed, and
super funny.
And his nephews come in to wake
the next morning.
Yeah. The kids come in and wake him up, and like one jumps on him. He just like flips him over and like puts him in a chokehold.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's like, oh shit. And then his sister comes in and it's just like,
good
hey.
Prank. He's like, well, I think I gotta go.
It's like, yeah, this is not for me. And he's like, yeah, and he leaves some video, like a video message, right? And he's doing like a voice. So he's doing a voiceover while they show a couple of scenes. One of like him doing some internet stalking of the lady in the photo, somehow figuring out based on the lighthouse in the background of the photo, like where.
Yep.
Pretty sleuthy of him.
Yep.
He narrows it down to this made up place in New Orleans or Louisiana called Hamden, I guess. And then he's talking about how, why did so many guys not make it out, but I did. He feels like he owes some debt of some sort, right?
The quote I did at the beginning there, yeah.
Yeah, and he's leaving basically this message, a video message on the laptop for his sister to find.
And this is also, we see like he's doing a little research like from the trailer, trying to figure out like how to get there, right? We talk about that already? Okay.
Yeah, well, just that he pins it to Hamden somehow, just based on a photo and a lighthouse in the background, which is impressive.
Yeah.
You know how many lighthouses there are? You know how many lighthouses there are?
A zillion. Infinite lighthouses.
Yeah.
So frustrating. And then I thought he was leaving on a bus, because then they cut the next scene. Like after he leaves that message, it cuts to, there's a bus driving down the highway. I didn't see him walking in that scene. I guess I must have missed it.
Yeah.
And then they just show him walking for forever.
Yeah. He's doing his Bruce Banner, right? And
almost 10 minutes into the movie, title card and credits.
And then we get like the credits / this walking montage. Basically him walking the 13 to 20 days to Louisiana.
Yep.
Just a man and his dog walking across the country, find a woman in a photo.
He's sleeping in the woods.
Talking to strangers, seeing if they know who she is. Once he gets closer, talks to some fishermen. He's like, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, this movie is like real problematic. Like he's like hunting down these women. This woman. It's pretty fucked up.
I mean, we did, I think, in one of our prognostications say that this was going to be this was like the precursor to Bundy, right? I think we had a whole time travel thing.
We did,
which still holds up right now.
I think so. Yeah, a little bit of Adam Project, a little bit of.
Yeah. So then he ends up in a bar in Hamden, and he talks to some dude, and dude's like, "You can't look like that in a town like this and not be known." Talking about the lady in the photo.
Mm-hmm. Creepy.
And he's like, oh yeah, I know her. It's Beth. She was married to a buddy of mine.
A foreshadow.
Her ex-husband, or soon to be ex-husband.
That's right.
Soon to be her late ex-husband. Am I right?
Spoilies.
Oh shit, sorry. And then he ends up at the kennel. Not the dog farm, but the kennel. Because that's what they're called, not dog farms.
Well, I've heard it both ways. In fairness to you.
Thanks. And we get the shot from the trailer where he walks up and we see her walking out of the barn in super short jean shorts and white top, and and he's just like, "Ooh, I think he's into her."
Yeah, surprise, surprise.
And she's doing dog training. We're training dogs.
She introduces herself first to Zeus,
which that's fair.
I guess that's reasonable. And then while she's in the process of meeting our hero here, Logan, she gets a phone call. Because she's very busy.
Very busy. Very busy. Very busy.
That's why they need help.
And then there's a little misunderstanding. He's like, "Oh, this is really hard for me to explain, like why I'm here." So he never really actually spits out why he's there.
Well,
but he does say like
almost trying.
Yeah. He's almost trying. Yeah, like he's like, "Oh, I came from Colorado. I walked or whatever." And there's a little joke about that, right?
Yeah.
But then there's like a little misunderstanding where he's like goes into his wallet to find the photo of her, can't find the photo. Which, you serious? Like this is your moment. You walked 20 days and now you don't have the photo on you?
He's about to, I think, pull it out. And then she's like, "Oh, you must have seen the ad."
Yeah, they're hiring, like she's looking for help, right?
For the job. And then kind of a weird scene, definitely could be taken to court for this, when she's discriminating against him for his veteran status. Like that is a protected class in the U.S. justice system.
Probably not for cash under the table paid jobs, but
sure. But nonetheless, got to call out a violation when I see it. He says he's a Marine, and she literally goes, "Never mind. Stop filling out the form. I'll get back to you."
Yeah, just leave your number. I'll get back to you. And it's like, yikes. Yeah. But she also was like, he walked here from Colorado, like crazy person, just to get it right.
He's a psycho.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he's Ted Bundy, right?
Yes.
And as we get the whole thing from the trailer with the grandmother, not her mother, it's her grandmother. We thought it was her mother in the trailer, which is completely reasonable, by the way.
Way off. Yeah.
Way off. Well, I mean, only by one generation, but
a whole one.
And then grandma does a quick interview. She comes in, squares him up right there, asks what he was doing, military, Marine, blah, 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 talks about the dog. And then, she hires him. And granddaughter's like, "What?"
Whoa, what? From the trailer.
Yeah, it's all from the trailer. So, and then he like buys a really house. Yeah, he just like buys some shit house, whatever.
I think he's renting it. I don't think he bought it. Oh. I think he's like renting it from that guy at the beginning. He's like, "Yeah, well, if you can fix it up, you can live here."
All right. Okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
And then we get to like one of many. There's a lot of mini montages in this movie.
Yes.
Like really short ones.
What was the one we did recently that was all montage? Kissing Booth?
Yeah, there's a lot of
that bad.
No, there's a lot of mini ones, but they like start and then they have like a scene of dialogue in between, and they come and then they restart the mini montage again. There was a movie we called this out, and we're like, this feels like music videos. Here we are again. We have another director who's music video guy, and he's doing all these short music montage. Oh, it was the other one in Louisiana with Ryan Reynolds. Selfless.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
that one had a bunch of like music montages, and we're like, what is going on? Same thing. So just do what you know, I guess, right?
Yeah. I was saying to Thais the whole time we were watching this movie, I was like, this feels like an NXS music video. Why? And then
there you go.
Sure enough.
All right, so then we get a little farmhouse dog kennel, wherever we are here, montage, right? We learn that she has a kid, and then we find that
the little bastard.
Yep, the little bastard. And we get Logan. He showed up early to get started. She's like, "Why are you here?" And then just a montage of Zac Efron doing work, painting, sweeping, fixing tractors.
Yep.
He's a miracle worker. He got the old tractor up and running, and Grandma's like, "Oh, look at that! He got that thing running."
Ooh, doggy!
Just put a battery in, put some fuel in it. There you go.
We're definitely at some point in this episode are going to do as many bad Southern accents as are in this movie, probably.
yeah. I think we're due. It's been a while.
Ooh-wee.
So we're still at the farmhouse. I'm gonna keep calling it farmhouse, right?
I mean they have cluster flies, alas. This time of year, it's probably bad, I guess.
What did you just say?
That was a reference for all of our fish heads out there.
It went over my head. I had no idea.
You know a song Farmhouse by Fish?
Oh, by Fish. I was like, what?
Yeah, well, if you're gonna keep saying Farmhouse, I'm gonna sing Farmhouse.
Oh, I hate Fish. Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. They're pretty hateable.
Yeah. Unless
you're in the know.
Yeah, I mean, they're listening to music is like this movie. It's just like eating celery. It's just kind of like this is boring.
Yeah, all you fish people out there, send us an email. Yeah, I'm cool. Russ is not.
I am definitely not a fish head. It's like do something different. Play a different note. Have a song go up and down, not just.
Oh yeah, just the way I like it.
Ugh. God.
Jam for me for 10 minutes.
Jesus. Oh my God. Have an ending. All right. So we're at the house, the kennel. We'll call it the kennel.
Yeah, that's probably safer.
Call it the dog house. So here we are at the dog house. This is when the cop shows up, right? Which is ex-husband, which is Keith.
He's a real asshole.
Real asshole.
Immediately.
Asshole. And this is our first blood moment where he meets Logan. He's just kind of like,
why are you here?
Answer my questions and this won't be a problem, It's like, ugh, you're an asshole.
Put your hands on the table.
Yeah, pats him down. It's like, dude, come on. Let's just pump the brakes here.
You should be thanking him. He's a veteran.
Without him, you wouldn't be able to do what you do. And then,
we can't really.
I guess,
should we pretend to rack about our freedom?
Good point.
Definitely was not a revenge tour, Bush dynasties.
Yeah, no, definitely. Definitely not.
Nothing to do with that or oil.
No. So then we get the Beth and son Ben there. They're getting ready for like the fundraiser, right? I think at the same time here.
Yeah.
Cop leaves. Yeah. He's like, hey, just tell Beth whatever.
I'll see her at 4. Okay, weird.
Right. Yeah, all right, dude. Just why don't you say that from the beginning and not be all creepy? So then, we're back inside, and then they're getting ready. Kids putting a tie on. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, classic Ben. Yeah. It's for Judge Daddy is the fundraiser.
Yeah. So then we show up at the fundraiser, obviously around 4:00 in the afternoon, and it's for Judge Daddy here, who's running for mayor. And we further meet the asshole husband cop.
Who we love you in that dress. Makes me wish I never signed those papers.
And you could already get the tension between the son and the dad too. Dad's like, you could have wore a nice jacket. And the son's like, for what, this garden party? He's like, it's not just a garden party, you little shit.
We do get a nice Louisiana style big band here that I enjoy.
Love big bands. Can't go wrong with big bands, right? Yeah, this is like our third Louisiana movie, isn't it?
At least, yeah.
Right?
I mean,
that actually specifically takes place in Louisiana, not like it was filmed there. Like we definitely have movies that were all filmed there.
Also filmed there, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, Louisiana's like Massachusetts, where they have 1 million film credits. And that's the last time I'll ever say Louisiana's like Massachusetts.
The first and only time you'll ever hear that.
Yeah, lots of tax credits for film companies.
So then we kind of go into another montage, right? Like a Beth montage, right? Where she's like hanging out with the dogs and like playing in the river with the dogs, and then Logan's creepily just walking around, like watching her.
Yep, that all checks out. Yep.
And they share a little look, like, oh, hey, what are you doing?
Well, they share a bunch of like flirty looks throughout the last couple of scenes. In my mind, they were flirty looks, but then she storms in to where Nana's sitting. That man is so irritating. It's like, wait, we're not on the same page here. I thought.
Yeah. What's going on here? I mean, looks.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Looks. If looks could kill. Yeah. And sure enough, he's sitting there having breakfast with Nana.
And they start, we get a little info about him. He went to college for a year?
A year, yep.
Big philosophy guy.
She picks on him. She's like, oh yeah, I bet you didn't learn much. Only a year. Ha ha ha. Which like we later find out she also went to college for like a year.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So
I guess maybe she's just insecure about her own past, but
yeah, that's usually how that happens, right? So
yeah.
So yeah, he's like, yeah, I like philosophy. Yeah, I like to read.
I like books.
I like books. And she's like, well, why don't you give me a quote? Give me your favorite philosophical quote here.
Sometimes the questions are complicated and the answers are simple.
And she's going all heady. She's like, is that Voltaire? It's Voltaire. It's Voltaire, right?
Trying to show us that she's smart, which
Okay.
Womp,
womp. Green eggs and ham on your face, am I right?
You dummy, it's Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss. Got you, fucker.
One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish.
So yeah, that's that. And then we cut to, right, that's the end of that. And then we cut to
legendary.
Yeah. Little achievement pops up, legendary. And then we're at school. We're at where Ben goes to school, and she's a part-time teacher. And I guess they want her to come back full-time, but
she was a full-time teacher.
She was full-time. Right. And yeah, so she doesn't want to come back though full-time. Maybe she's not ready for it. And then she sees her
after the incident, I guess.
Yeah, and then she sees her son getting a little bit bullied, right?
Super bullied.
Yeah, right.
Kid's a fucking nerd. He plays violin. Of course, the kids are gonna pick on him,
dude. Wrong stringed instrument.
No, violins are cool, but very difficult to play.
Yeah, no thanks. And then we get so then we cut to Logan on a little Bruce Banner walk again. He just walks. That's what he does. He just walks all over town with the dog.
Yep.
And he spots the kid playing violin in his tree fort.
Just like alone in the woods. You're like, oh, okay.
What?
And the kid's like, "What you doing over there?" And then he's like, "Just listening to you." And he's like, "Oh." He's like, I'm glad I was listening.
The way you describe it,
scene?
It makes it even creepier than it was.
Yes, it is creepy.
It is pretty creepy. And yeah, he gives the kid a comment. But that tree fort, hey, that's a big A foreshadowed. So
yeah.
And then we're back at the dog kennel, the dog house. And then Beth is just staring at him as he's walking. I don't know, like it's all this movie is.
Yeah, everyone
staring.
just
Stares at each other. That's it, right?
Yeah. Nana's staring at him.
Nana's staring at her, staring at him.
And then Nana's like, "Hey, Logan, my dear boy, can you drive me to choir practice?"
Yeah, and just quick shots of Logan working with some customers and stuff like this, giving their dog back.
I'm giving her a funny voice, but she's like in her early 60s, maybe.
Yeah.
she's not that old.
She's like mom. She's like a mom age. She's not grandmother.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
You know what? Let's just change it. Why don't we just make it? Can we just make her? Let's call her mom.
Call her the mom. Yeah, the mom.
Yeah, the mom.
I'm gonna keep calling her Nana.
So the young whippersnapper Logan gives her a ride, and then as we get a little more backstory for Logan, he's
sorry, I'm laughing about the backstory for Nana, but go on.
Yeah, he's 25, and then she starts talking about losing people and stuff like this. There's some of this I didn't.
Well, she's like, "Oh well, like." Beth doesn't let me drive ever since the stroke, but you can hardly call it a stroke, more of a tap, really. And I was like, why are you making a golf joke? This is what is this movie? And he's like, huh.
Yeah. Not really giving any emotion whatsoever or interacting. Just kind of there.
Yeah. So. Yeah. And she gives the backstory about how, she asked how many tours of Iraq he's done. He did 3. She talks about how her grandson never finished the second one, didn't make it back. Zac Efron character Logan is supposedly 25. Also in real life at this point, Zac Efron was 25.
Yeah. Yeah. And actually he's 3 years younger than Taylor Schilling.
Yeah. He's 2 years younger than me.
And he's 3 years
older than me.
I was going to say,
the opposite. Right?
Yeah.
Opposite.
Now that we've got that all figured out.
Everyone knows that this is about me.
Yes. This whole thing, we've done this whole thing for you.
Yeah, 122 episodes or so.
So at this point, did you piece together that the guy who died in the beginning was going to be related to was the grandson here?
Figured, yeah. I was like, what are the odds? I was like, that's gonna be stupid if they do that. I was basically thinking the whole time, like, that's gonna make me mad if they do that.
Well, that's the whole thing, though. It's the whole fate, right?
Yeah, hate it.
Destiny, right? So that's the whole point.
It did make me mad, as predicted by me.
Yeah, this movie's there's only one thing that caught me off guard at the end, which I was like, oh, really?
Which was so funny.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
I couldn't stop laughing.
It was pretty. But anyways,
we'll get there.
We're back at the doghouse. Logan's just kind of creep around. He's just like walking around. He walks in. And he's just like
thinks he's home alone.
Yeah, spots a piano, starts playing the piano, and honestly, when the kid starts
covered in sheets,
which.
fast fact here, not a fake fast fact, but like this piano's covered in sheets, presumably for an unclear amount of time. Like this place looks dusty, right?
Yeah.
Pianos don't keep their tuning like that.
No,
like
no, you have
like
to,
he like whips it off and starts doing like fiddling around with it. Perfectly in tune. Yeah. Not how pianos work.
Rocket Man.
Yeah. Packed my bags last night, pre-flight, 0 hour, 9 a.m. My favorite rendition of Rocket Man. My parents had never seen that. How wild is that? I was like, you lived when William Shatner was doing this. Like this happened. This was famous at the time. And they're like, well, we didn't have YouTube back then. I'm like, I guess. So.
All right. That's fine. All right. Whatever. What a cop out, parents. Well, we didn't have YouTube.
Yeah. Shout out to my parents, but they said that like they never did anything cool. Like watch William Shatner do Rocket Man.
So he's playing the piano. He's playing the piano. So we get a little more. Oh, he's got some
not
depth.
Rocket Man.
No, not Rocket Man. Yeah, we get a little depth, right? Oh, he's got more depth to him. He plays the piano. He's got a soft side to this killer side.
Mm-hmm.
And then the little kid Ben, he's sneaking up with a lightsaber, and I was like, oh man, is he gonna have a PTSD moment here and kill a kid? And I was like,
I thought the same thing.
I was like, I mean, that can make this whole thing interesting.
Yeah, I was so happy for a second.
Yeah, and not feel like we're eating celery, but no, we're still eating celery. And the kid just spies on him because that's what people do in this movie. Everyone just walks around spying each other, creeping on each other. So
yes.
And then it's dinner time. Beth and Grandma get home, and this is a scene from the trailer, right? Where
Beth and Ben are cooking jambalaya. I love jambalaya so much.
So do I.
God, so good.
Need to make a jambalaya.
Good. Yeah, Sam. We should have a jambalaya night.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you're 3 towns away.
Why not?
And this is when we get also from the trailer. I don't remember the last time I had a plan. Starts doing like a weird Southern accent at some point in this movie, kind of, and then drops it later.
Yeah, I think they're probably like, you know what? Why don't you just lose the accent?
Yeah, they're like, try not to sound like you.
Yeah,
like you're from San Luis Obispo. Try not to sound like that.
Yeah. Or maybe you just naturally stop doing it. And they're like, you don't have to tell him because he won't be able to do it the entire time.
Yeah, it's fine. Do like a middle California accent. It's fine.
It's fine. Doesn't matter. No one gives a shit.
Yeah, this movie is gonna stink.
Yeah,
it'll be profitable. Who cares?
Everyone that bought the book, even half of them come and see this movie.
Yeah,
we're good.
You got points on this one, Zac Efron, I bet. So you're good.
You're good. I'll try to go and act in this one. All right. Mm-hmm. All right. So we get the kid dancing in a trailer. We get the plan sing, blah, blah, blah. And then we have dinner time and we get some good old fashioned kid dropping some serious exposition about mom, how she used to be. It's like, what kid at that age just like, well,
she
Mom,
was a track star.
Yeah, she was a track star. Remember you got that full scholarship to Tulane? Like what? What 9-year-old?
He was cross country, and yeah, you're right. And he's like, yeah, remember when you didn't finish college, Mom? Because you got pregnant with me.
Got you, fucker. Green eggs and ham on your face.
And then there's a weird scene where he's, I'll bet you doing the dishes that I'll beat your ass in chess.
Yeah, he's like, someone plays chess around here, and the kid's like, yeah, I played chess, motherfucker. You want to go?
I got your number.
Yeah, I'll bet you dishes for Pooper Scooper tomorrow. And sure enough, kid kicks his ass at chess.
Yeah, obviously.
About as predictable as the rest of this movie.
Yeah. Detergent's under the sink, asshole.
Mom likes the dishes towel dried too. And the kid's being kind of like a little wise ass about secrets there. So Zac Efron's doing dishes and the kid's like, well, you got a secret too. And
plays the piano. And
then the kid starts doing magic tricks.
Well, because he thinks he stinks at the violin. So he's like, I'm not good enough to play for anyone. Because that's when Zac Efron's like, oh, well, you have a secret too. You're good at violin. I wish you should play for me.
Right.
Like, I can't.
Yeah, setting up a little like, he foreshadowed for, of course he's going to overcome this because Zach's going to help him, right?
I mean, he isn't that good, but he's also not terrible.
And the kid starts doing magic tricks, which he screws up. He screws up at first, and he gets it, and he tries to do another one, and Mom's like, all right, it's time to go to bed, kid. And the kid just flips his shit and just like runs away. And it's like, oh,
you're not my real mom.
Yeah. You never wanted to have me. Yeah, you're right, kid.
And then Beth just like changes topics and is like, yeah, well, my brother, the Marine who died.
Yeah. I was like,
what? I have whiplash here.
Like, what's happening? Why is this all moving so quick and weird?
And then Nana comes home wasted, which is so funny.
Shithoused. Nana, you're shithoused. Then Logan again. This is when so he's leaving, and this is he's on the front porch chair, and he's like tries to explain why he's actually here again. why, what brought him here. Kind of.
Barely tries.
He's not very, he's just not good with his words.
I got something to tell you.
But I can't for some reason. She's like, it's okay. How about another time? I'll always be here.
Yep.
Meanwhile, in the car, in the woods.
Meanwhile, 20 feet away.
a Keith watches Logan. Just people watching people. That's this whole movie.
People watching people.
Right? People watching, a lot of people watching going there. And then we cut back to Logan's little, shit pad there, and he's just flipping out. And he's just like, I cannot tell her, having a little PTSD moment, I guess. And I was like,
he knows he stinks.
Yeah, like why is this such a big deal? Like, why is it? Am I missing
if you had told her the first time, it would have been fine.
Right. Right. Even now, still would have been probably fine. You got a little more to kind of talk your way out of here, but like,
yes, there's a million ways this could have gone better.
Yeah. But he hasn't pieced together yet that he doesn't know that her brother was the guy Ace's yet, right? He doesn't, No. Yeah, he doesn't find that out until like towards the end, I think, right?
Even though she's like, yeah, my brother was a Marine and like he was in Iraq also. And like, he definitely should have escaped. Like, where else would a picture of her come from?
Yeah, right.
Like, you fucking dummy. Like, what? Like, how else would there be a picture of her in the sand in Iraq?
Yeah, like, oh, what platoon did he serve in? Like, what group? Like,
Keith wasn't there. Good Lord.
Yeah, so this movie's just it's moving along at a paint by numbers pace here. It's just
so frustrating.
Yeah, it's pretty frustrating, but we all know what we're gonna get at the end, except for one thing, which I actually wasn't expecting, but it's
so funny.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think we're gonna cut there and see what happens.
Me, baby.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see where we end up if this is all gonna work out.
Will they end up together? Will Ben play the violin in front of people?
Will Zeus decide to stop walking with his owner?
Will Nana sober up?
Hard-hitting questions. We'll find out next time on the next episode. So thanks for listening. We'll be back on Thursday with part 2. In the meantime, you can follow us on Instagram at It's This Meets That, or ITMTpod on Twitter. And you should subscribe to us wherever you listen to your podcasts.
And while you're there, especially if it's either Apple or Spotify, which we know for sure lets you review us, leave a review. 5 stars, say something nice, say something mean, whatever you want. Hugely appreciated. It helps us with our rankings and shit. If you have been a listener for 1 episode or 120 episodes, leave a little review. Goes a long way for us. If you want us to be successful, and we know that you do, you can help. Be a part of the change. But if you're not feeling like doing that, and instead you're feeling like an old-fashioned donut, you can send us an email. We'll mail you a donut. It's thismeetsthat@gmail.com. I'll mail you a donut. Send me an email asking for a donut. I'll figure out a way to send you a donut.
That's quite the promise.
Yeah, I don't care. Send us an email.
I'm already writing you an email.
Perfect. Or if you forgot everything we just said, you can go to the website where all the things we just said are also located. Details wise, it's thismeetsthat.com.